20 minutes, jeez. Hey guys, this is Shelf Lab, and I'm Max. These are my videos, and if you can't tell already, I love fire explosions and making stuff. So, if you like my videos, please subscribe, and please enjoy. Too lazy to get out of my phone, that's why the intro and outro are filmed in post on my computer, but hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to make this awesome taser lance. Looks kinda weird, but it's dope. Check it out. And that's only my small static electric generator. Alright, so I made this thing, I call it the electric lance. It was pretty good, but I want to make it better. I didn't make a build video for the original anyways, so just redo it right now and make it a lot better. So I'm just gonna strip it apart first. Alright, somehow it took 20 minutes, but I managed to strip apart the whole thing and get the parts I wanted to keep clean. Which is this broomstick, which is metal, so I'm gonna have to cover it with duct tape to insulate it. This kind of bent cup holder for a bike, and these handles for a binder clip. And so I'm gonna start by putting the cup holder back on. Putting the cup holder on as tight as I possibly can, and I'm gonna duct tape it to secure it after that, so it doesn't, the Velcro doesn't loosen up. So it's pretty tight now. You have some room for your hands. So alright, now I'm gonna try insulating it a bit by adding a layer of duct tape. The tighter the better, because if it's really loose and like there are wrinkles everywhere. I mean, it's okay if there are a few, but if there are too many, then you're gonna have some problems in the next few steps after this. The smell of fresh duct tape. Now, this is all hypothetical if you do it right, because this is technically dangerous or something. I'm supposed to say do not try this at home. Because, alright, and you could attach, watch NightHawkInLight's video about how to make a static electric generator. I have a few of those, and that's what I use to power this. I'll put the link in the description. It's a really amazing video. Like that's basically what started me on like designing to be kind of an engineer and scientist, but alright, that should be good. So yeah, watch that video for sure. And I also have a much stronger one, but I'm probably not going to use it for this because it's pretty sketchy and like
full sketch.
Now you're like, if you're wondering why I don't insulate the handle right here, it's because electricity will naturally take the path of least resistance, which means if it never goes through here, then it can't go through here. A lot of people think that if you're holding a metal rod that has electricity passing through it, you'll be electrocuted, but that's not how it works. Because the metal rod is more conductive than you, so the electricity wants to go through the rod, not you, and you won't be affected unless the rod gets hot, and then it'll burn you. But that's literally the only damage that can occur that way. So now I'm gonna grab these pliers, and you don't have to use these handles of binder clips, but it's my suggestion. Now I definitely suggest you use the round end, because in my original version, which I didn't make a video of, but it's what I just stripped apart, I used this side because I thought it would look cooler or something, but it hurts if you get scratched by it, and it's less practical. So yeah, just use the other end. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of scrunching it together so it fits better onto the pole. And no need for anything crazy, just a little bit of a scrunch. And then now I'm gonna just kind of loop these up. And it works even better because I need 2 terminals on, or 2 connection points on each terminal. So this should be perfect. So I'm just gonna loop these around and make little loops for the wires to grab onto. And it's okay if these touch because it's the same terminal anyways, and it's one piece of metal, so them touching here is no different than them existing on the same piece of metal. In fact, you could probably clip one off and just use one, which I probably should do, but I'm not going to just because I already started this. I might do it with the other one. But yeah, so that's what I'm finishing with. In my original design, it was detachable, but this time I'm not going to make it. I'm going to make it like a much slimmer, but much more effective and sturdy. So I'm just going to tape these directly onto here and work from there. Okay, so I'm connecting the wire here. Scoot out a bit. Alright. And I'm going to wrap it around and add an easy point to connect to for the bigger wire.
Tastes good.
Best wire stripper ever.
Please don't do that at home. You're gonna like you're gonna like scratch your face.
I have thick bones and strong teeth. Don't repeat some of the dumb stuff I do. All right. So basically, what I'm gonna try to do is strip this entire thing and wind it around in a circle here, and then I'll connect one of the 2 of the wires to this, and then 2 of the thick wires that'll be running all the way down the side and completely stripped. So whenever you touch it, you'll get zapped. So if you try to stop the staff, you can't. Okay, so here is a 14 gauge wire. After a while, I'm really used to it. What I'm trying to do is get it as straight as possible. So this is actually rated for only 600 volts, and we're gonna be pumping a lot more than that through. But the difference is that it's talking about constant either direct or alternating current. But we're putting in static electricity, which builds up and then discharges all at once. So it should be completely fine. And I've tested it before. I've used very, very thin wire and it handled it perfectly fine. In fact, all of the wires inside of my static electric generator are extremely thin. Wouldn't even be able to, would hardly be able to handle it, like maybe 9 volts. And it all depends on, it's not just the voltage, it's also the current and the resistance. Everything plays a factor. So for example, 9 volt would probably not have any effect on this wire, but a 12 volt lead acid battery would almost definitely, actually I've tested it many times before, it burns right through it. It can only last a few seconds before it gets red hot, and then it melts all the coating, to make 2 different pieces for this. I'm going to try to get it as even technical as possible. Right there. And I'm going to try to straighten each one out as much as possible. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the entire wire so that the whole thing, since this time I actually coated the broomstick itself in duct tape, it's not conductive anymore on the surface. So I can actually just strip the entire wire, tape it in a few spots so it stays still in little intervals, and then the whole thing will be basically the surface to get shocked on. So basically, I taped the first wire on here in the straightest line I possibly could, and I'm going to connect it to this wire. I'm not going to do that ring thing because it's not going to work out very well. yeah, I'm just gonna keep going, and it's getting kind of dark out, so I'm gonna finish tomorrow probably. Alright, it's another day. Time to finish it up. My phone ran out of storage, so I didn't really get to film everything I did yesterday, but I cleaned it up, so it should be good to go. So I'm just gonna, basically I only did half of the process for putting on the bigger wires, so you should be able to pretty easily derive what I did yesterday by what I do today. So I started by taking this 14 gauge wire, and it was really creased up and stuff, so I put it around our basketball hoop pole. This is the perfect size and shape, and I'm just holding it one side in one hand and the other in the other, and I just pull it like this, and it kind of rounds it out so it's easier to flatten rather than having a bunch of big creases in it. So after I did that, I'm going to cut it in half because this is enough for 2, and I'll just take a second to do that. Alright, now that I have these cut into half, I'm going to start stripping away the coating, and I'm going to use a razor blade for that because I need to strip the coating along the entire wire. And so be careful if you do this, not to cut towards yourself, otherwise you have a very high chance of cutting yourself. And yeah, just be careful when using a knife or a razor blade in general. I would use a full knife so that it's easier to handle and lower risk of cutting yourself, but I can't find one right now, so I'm just gonna do this. Once you have a strip gone like that, then you can just peel it back and pull off whatever you cut so far. For some wires, it'll keep going even past where you cut, but not for this one, so I'm just gonna keep going. Make sure you're careful when you're cutting. I got this not even from cutting myself, it was just from wear from the edge of the blade, so try to use a real like box cutter or something when you're doing this, if you do it. Or if you have wire stripper, definitely do that instead. Alright, so next, just straighten the wire out into the straightest line possible. Straight as I could, and now it is time to attach them onto the main body. So I'll walk you through what I did yesterday. Alright, so now since this one's marked with positive, okay, so I've straightened these two out as much as I could. It's not perfect, but the straighter the better. And let me just separate that. always twist the ends of your wires. You don't want them to fray. I did the same thing right here. I'm going to make this one a bit higher. Right here. So essentially I'm just tying this wire here in a loop, and I'm tying it just to make sure it doesn't come undone. And we will make that a bit better later. But for now, we'll start with this one. Put it inside. Doesn't have to go in too far, just enough so that you can bend it back up a little bit. Just loop around the loop so that it holds in place. Building it after it's built, it's pretty sturdy, but while you're building it, try not to like jostle anything too much, otherwise anything could bend or break. So I want to line this up, since I already did the other two. Basically you want to line each one up 90 degrees away from each other. So this one should be right in between the other two. Line it up and then tape it down. Well, you don't have to tape it that much because these wires are rigid and they won't move out of place too much. But when you do tape them, because they do need to be held in place a little bit, try to tape them where you tape the others so you don't waste space. So like if you tape here and then here, then it'll cover more than you need, and it'll do the same amount of holding in place. So try to tape it in the same spot for each wire. The first wire you can place however you want, but all the others you have to be careful where you place them, otherwise it's going to be very uneven and that's not good. Make sure after you're done with the first set, tape them off. I didn't tape it off properly, so I'm going to have to do that right now. Yeah, unfortunately the top will probably be quite bulky. So if hypothetically a zombie grabs it, then they won't get shocked there. But I mean, if it's a fast target, then it'll be hard to grab properly. So here we go. Now that's ready for this wire, which I don't know why I put it so low. That does not make sense. Alright, I'll bring this back up then. Alright, so basically now, this is just exactly what I did for the other one. This is gonna be barely. Alright, so now you find where this is, and where it lines up with the wire, and you strip the wire only there. So now you kind of just pull it over, wrap it, pull it over again, and wrap it again if you have enough wire. If you've stripped enough. There we go, that's nice. You could stop there, but I'm going to go the extra mile and assume that whoever is grabbing it barehanded. Because if you are, then you will get shocked once, and then as soon as you touch two consecutive wires, there will be electricity flowing through you, but it won't really affect you, especially if you're just holding it with one hand. It might make your hand a little hot, but with a static electricity that won't happen. So you'll see what I'll do to fix that problem. thought out thing I've ever designed myself completely. I had no outside influence for this, it kind of just came into my head one day. I'm gonna wrap that a few times. Oh, don't want it going too far to the side. Now I'm going to attach the low power static electric generator to this and use it in Halloween. Don't worry, I won't go around shocking people. I think that's assault. But yeah. So if you have a low power static electric generator to use with this, it would probably do for a nice prop or prank or, I don't know, Halloween costume, whatever. Then I'm going to add a clothy sleeve to it in order so you can, if you touch the sides, you will be continually zapped rather than just once. Alright. There we go. Just making sure they're all evenly spaced all the way down. This is looking real good. Alright, before I make the sleeve, I'll show you how it works. So here it is. I put in the electric generator and wired it up. Turn it on. It's now on. And we insulated it, so that's good. There's no zapping right now. Alright, let's test it out. Definitely working. Alright, let's try something else. Okay, that's good. The side shock stuff too. Ow, good. I don't know if you see that little purple spot. It's a bit low on battery right now, so. You see, the reason for the sleeve is the tip, you'll probably, if you're using the tip, you're probably hitting someone else. If they're touching the side, then they're probably going to grab it with their bare hands. And see, it shocks them at first, but immediately after that grab on, it stops shocking them because it's just going through their hand, and it's not, like, the spark is what hurts. So the moment you grab on, you get shocked once and then it's done. So I'm going to put a sleeve on so there's space between the grabber's hand and the wires. Probably gonna have to replace the battery soon too. Then the sleeve will, we put a gap between the hand and the wires so that when you grab on, the charge builds up and then shocks over and over and over again, and rather than just going through you the moment any charge builds up. So let's go do that. Alright, I'm gonna use this very big pillowcase I found. It has a little seam right here already. You can't really see it, but so there's just a pocket right here, kind of, that's separate from the rest of it, so I don't have to do any sewing or anything, and it should be the perfect size. So I'm just gonna cut this off right along here, and then somehow I'm gonna cut inside of there to open it up. Alright, so I cut this bit off, and to prevent it from coming apart, I'm just going to staple a few spots where it's probably susceptible to coming apart. Alright, so the sleeve simply goes over the thing, and I'm hoping it's not too small. Oh, it's just the right size. Alright, and I recommend keeping it on with rubber bands so it doesn't slide around. But there you go. Now, if you turn it on and grab it. Ow! That is nasty. And obviously, I'm not gonna make it permanent. I'm gonna make it removable, so like you can show off that it looks cool and not just a poop on a stick. But yeah, there you go. That's it. So yeah, now you know how to make the very first weapon I've ever completely designed and built on my own, except for my little brother helped me strip some wires and film a bit. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of this. I'll put the link for how to do the static electric generator in the description. If you guys want me to, I'll make my own video on it because I made quite a few of these. I'm getting pretty good at it. I also have this that I might try hooking up to the Lance eventually. It has about the same input, but it burns through batteries way faster. And its arcs are almost an inch long. It's extremely powerful. I think it's 400,000 volts, maybe even 4 million. I'm not sure. Yeah, but maybe I'll connect it to that someday. Definitely not going to use it on anyone because this, if used right, this can kill someone. So I've shocked myself with it once in the leg, and it was not fun. Okay. My leg went numb for a day. So, yeah. See you guys. Maxed out.